How we living, boys? We're back with a Briar tier list here. We will be checking which builds I actually think are the best for climbing. Everyone is talking about, like, yo, when you make videos about Korean builds, do you actually think they're good? And sometimes I'm testing them to find out what my opinion is. But here you can have a more direct way to understand what I think is the best for climbing, no matter what the rank, flat out from Iron to Challenger. What are the best builds? This one is pretty simple. If you're going Titanic Black Cleaver, that's the best build. That won't change. That is just, it's just a fact, man. There's sometimes people will like come to Lethality, something like this. They'll be like, hey, but did you see, so like, let's say Titanic, let's average them at like, let's say 52%. They'll be like, hey, have you checked out this 100% win rate one game boots first? And it's like, guys, we need to understand that like these things matter. These amount of games do matter, and win rates and everything. Win rate should be a part of your answer, not your point. Like, if your point is this is good because win rate is high, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, Titanic Black Cleaver is the best build. Some people feel like it like falls flat in lower elo lobbies because of all the fighting and so on. It just like flat out doesn't fall off inherently by the build standards. You just need to be farming. You need to play well. And sometimes that's the problem, is when you take Titanic Black Cleaver, it's under sky and so on. If you don't have money coming in to buy these expensive items, it will feel bad. And if this build isn't working for you, it's likely just your play style or whatever you're doing in game doesn't work out. You should be taking PTA with this. If you take Conqueror, I would put it a little lower down the list. It would still be S tier, or even like Hailblades. Hailblades you can take with Titanic, but it's just not as good as PTA. PTA Titanic Black Cleaver is just the best build. That's it. Simply. Alright, so second would be Bork Black Cleaver. Again, Black Cleaver is just that item second. It gives every stat, armor pen. It's just everything for this champion, I'm not going to lie. I think Bork into Black Cleaver is definitely second best. I think it is slightly better than Kraken Black Cleaver, because I think Kraken Black Cleaver isn't even the best Kraken build, because I would actually say that Titanic into Kraken is way better. Way better. The auto tech reset works well with Kraken, and you're already tanky. The only thing this build lacks is ability haste. But when you lack ability haste, but you're just killing people on run rotation of cooldowns, as long as you take your W's really well, yeah, you don't really have to worry about it. Bork definitely 1v1's better than Kraken too. Like, Kraken might do flat out more damage in like a blank sim, but it's just not close in terms of like which ones actually build a well-rounded build. I think Bork is easily number 2. I think that, like, although this is supposed to be from Iron to Challenger, I will say, like, Bork raises in strength when you're still learning the game, because it allows you to get away with a lot of bad habits by just raw forcing 1v1 win here and there. So, you know, this is why I say low elo should probably be playing Bork Black Cleaver, because, again, people are going to mess up, and you will punish them just by hitting W on Bork build. But as you start climbing, Titanic starts to get better. And I do think that if you learn how to play Titanic, you'll just climb faster inherently with good habits. So these two in this order, it is not close. Now, the third best build is always a really weird one for me, because it really depends on the type of player, in my opinion. But I'll say it'll come down to a lethality build. But it does matter what you rush. Flat out, in my opinion, Profane Rush has always been the best. For me, I've never had bad times with it. But Hubris does have some like insane data to it. And Opportunity is a really good item, but it turns out that Opportunity First just isn't as good as these two. So a lot of people get away with like just going Opportunity, winning games. That's fine. I don't hate that, but Profane, I think, is the most consistent lethality one, even if the stats don't support it. So, like, if you look at Profane versus Hubris, right? Hubris, 65% win rate, 63 games. Profane, 133 games, 47%. That's Emerald Plus. Again, I myself, this is just my opinion, I think people just suck at playing with Profane. I'm not going to lie. It always feels so insanely godly OP to me. It is not close. So I don't know what people are doing wrong with it. Maybe they're just taking bad spots. I will say if you play a lot of Bruiser and then you try and swap to Lethality, it will not go well. It just flat out won't. So, yeah, I don't know. Plus, like, I will say Hubris, it's not always fine to say that Hubris is the best Lethality, like, build, because a lot of people are building this with other things that aren't just Lethality. Like, you see a lot of Bruiser options here. And we can even, like, you know, let's go all ranks real quick. A lot of people like this with other tankier items. Boy, yo, 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 yo. Lude, thanks for the tier 1 for 3 months in advance for 10. Thank you so much, man. Lude, my fucking goat. So yeah, it's in this weird spot that I think people are just misplaying with Profane. I don't know. I don't know what would, like, not be an egotistical thing to say about it. But, like, I have nothing but great experiences with it. And it feels genuinely way stronger than Hubris. I will say, like, Hubris will always be higher win rate than certain things because, like, when you buy Hubris and the game is already going good, it's just going to triple down on being better, right? So it's like, I don't know if that makes sense, but the idea is that, like, when you have Hubris and you're already in a winning game, you know, you just stay winning. It's just one of those things. It's like Medjais will always have an insane win rate because if you get to it, then it's really good. Now, you know, the idea with Hubris would be, like, if I am snowballing in this game, I get Hubris faster, then it continues to do the same thing. So I put Hubris and Medjais in the same thing, where their win rates will always be, like, super high, and I don't think that's the best justification for it being the best. And again, right, we're looking at 63 games. That could be two players that are smurfing with it. So overall, I put Profane as my GOAT. So this will be one of the first times that my opinion does disagree with win rate, which is good. That's kind of the point of this. So yeah, Opportunity Rush I think is mid, and Hubris Rush, the idea of going Hubris Rush is that your slots kind of get a little weird. So to go back to what we were just at, right, Hubris going into either Bruiser or, you know, just higher damage. I mean, I like Hubris into Collector. Hubris into Bruiser really isn't bad. It does feel clunky, though. If you saw my video on it, right, I go Hubris into Titanic, and it just feels so clunky, so I am not the biggest fan of it. I would say Hubris Collector is definitely better. So because of that, I would put Hubris in A tier. I think these three being the best three builds is very, very, like, set in stone for me. It just is. So next up we have, let's see, what's probably after Hubris? I'm trying to, like, lightly order these, just to save time. But, I definitely have Collector. Let's do Collector. I have Collector first, being really high up. I think it is very slept on going Collector first. The thing about Collector is that when you get champion kills afterwards, it gives you 25 gold, and it's a 3,000 gold item. So the idea is that it can start kind of buying other things, right? Let me skip this song, because people always complain about it. It's my goat, though. Your story is heat. So yeah, I think Collector's also in a weird spot where I think a lot of people do build it incorrectly. I'm not the biggest fan of it first. I do think Profane into Collector is way better. But, you know, sometimes going Collector into... If you get Collector IE or Collector Shield Bow, it feels really good. But when you go Collector into Bruiser, it feels really weird. I think the best way to do that is actually Collector Sundered Sky. So chalk this. Go here to here. I think that's the best Collector into Bruiser build, by the way. But again, it depends on what Collector you're saying. Collector Sundered Sky or Collector into IE or Shield Bow. I would say these are the best Collector builds, and I think all of them fall in about 5th best. This is what it is. So now we're going to get into Kraken. Again, I get Kraken, like, just being a worst version of Bork build. Mostly just because, like, the higher damage, I don't know, it just feels like Bork's slow gets a little bit more value. It actually feels like the slow gives me more damage than it makes up for it. On top of the fact that it can flex to killing tanks. Whereas like Kraken just makes you killing squishies easier, which like Briar really doesn't have trouble with that, so I don't think it's really solving anything. The times that you're snowballing with Kraken, it feels insane. The times that you're behind with it and you can't auto, it feels like so bad. Where like at least Bork, I can like burst out a tank at the upper half of their health and then try and live. Kraken doesn't really feel like it has that. But again, it's like, this is where it's weird to say, because I would say like, if you're going Titanic Kraken, I would say that build is higher than these two. But if we're just talking about Kraken into Black Cleaver, which is like one of the higher played builds, I think Kraken gets really weak. So it just depends on what build you're playing for this one, and that's why it's like tough to rate. I don't think Kraken into Collector is that good. That seems a little bit more win more. Kraken into Titanic, I think is just worse than Titanic into Kraken. But overall, I mean, it's definitely solid. Like, I think a lot of people at this point, when they don't see their favorite build is like top 3, it's like, oh, what the hell? This is all wrong. And it's like, dude, you have to understand, Titanic is like easily the best build, right? So like if you look at OTPs, right? You got Logan Jungle going Titanic, right? You have like, look at all these people going Titanic, man. Titanic is just certified. It's just so certified. And you see a lot of Kraken, and well, not a lot, but you see 3, and that's good too. You see some Sundered Sky and so on. The reality of it is that just like going a damage item first can be a little tough, and if you're going Kraken into a Bruiser item, I think that's weaker than going Bruiser item into Kraken. And because of that, if you're, I'm justifying that this Kraken image will be Kraken first into something else. And yeah, I just don't think it's much better than these options for sure. Someone says that Holebreaker guy must be investigated. That's actually this build. He is investigated, and that build is from Roar. And if you look at my YouTube, I mean, just look at all the times I've checked on Korean Briars, okay? I've probably done it like 10 times at this point. I think like 6 of the times are Roar. We keep up with Roar. He's the Korean GOAT for sure. We have Death Dance first into just literally just Death Dance first into literally anything else. I think that build turned out to be really good into certain matchups, but in the matchups that it's good, it doesn't tip the scale so much further in your favor, while also not just being generically good. And I think there are points to be given for just like being generic here. Like Titanic, you can run it into any lobby. Bork, any lobby. Profane, any lobby. And then it just goes down. So I think any Bork first build is probably B tier. It can win. It will win if you play well, but I do think that it has some insane problems. Next up, we have the Black Cleaver first. I think if this was just top lane, I would say Black Cleaver first is S tier, because that should be a rush into tank matchups. The extra ability haste does a ton for you. They're going to be stacking armor. You do good. Gives you good health too. So if this was just top lane, this might even be like the best item in top lane. It's definitely slept on, and people haven't experimented enough. It legitimately gives you a lane phase. But since this is mostly for jungle, I'll say that like Black Cleaver first isn't that good. It just isn't, because of how good Black Cleaver second is. That's it. So if you look at it first, like even if let's go a little lower. Like let's just give it as many games as we can. 64 games, negative win rate, and then like the ones that win are the people building the item that they should have built first. I think Black Cleaver first is really bad. Okay. Now, is there an amount of respect that we put on it because of how good it is for top lane? No, I think I just say it. But I would have this probably worse than Opportunity. At least Opportunity can snowball. So I think Black Cleaver first is really bad. It's very, very, very bad. And another reason, well, not another reason that it's bad, but something similar too, if you do play that and you're looking for other options, is Sundered Sky. Sundered Sky gives almost identical stats other than ability haste. And you go Sundered Sky into Black Cleaver, into Overlord's Bloodmail, and you start cranking damage. So again, Black Cleaver is not a good first item. It is an insane second item. It enables so many builds. So I think Sundered Sky is better than Death Dance. I would say it's even an A tier build. Is it better than Kraken? Probably. I think so. Is it better than Collector into Crit? Probably. It could. I would say it likely could be this, just because Briar is like genuinely made to be a bruiser, so a lot of her bruiser builds will function a little bit better than the higher damage ones. But I think this feels safe. I do think Hubris is very good because Hubris can pivot. I think that a lot of pivots aren't that good, but still, Hubris definitely good. Especially, you know, small tidbit, like Briar, you need to have good early game. Hubris gets a lot of benefit from that, so it is what it is. Let's talk about Yuntao. Yuntao is, man, it is definitely worse than Kraken in my opinion, but it does matter which build, I will say. Yuntao has this weird thing where, like, when they're going Yuntao into full damage, it feels risky. When you go Yuntao into Bruiser, it feels real. So the way I see it is like, you know, when that build was popping, we'll go all ranks here just to show. When you go Yuntao into Black Cleaver Titanic, that build felt actually really good. If you get one kill early game, you have this item that functions like Bork, like Kraken, but it has the opportunity to, if I continue to snowball, after I get tanky, I throw on Infinity Edge and I just hard carry this game. Whereas like if you're snowballing really hard, you go 2 items into just full crit, and you can snowball that way. So I think Yuntao's in like this weird spot where like it is fun because, okay, this game is even or bad. I go Yuntao into Bruiser. This game is going good. I just go full crit and I slam. Like it might be better than Kraken. Again, like I think Kraken is just better paired with Titanic, and that's why it just keeps getting pushed back, because I think that Kraken first, albeit is like really good. I just don't. All these things are really good. It's kind of tough. So we'll worry about ordering here in a second. This Eclipse would be Eclipse Sundered Sky. I think it's one of the most OG certified builds, but right now you don't get away with going Eclipse Sundered Sky and just having like this honest short burst cooldown build. Right now the meta's in like you need to be doing absurd things, and that's a very honest play style, so I think it's kind of weak. I definitely do think this is shaping out like this makes more sense. Tank Briar in jungle I think is really bad. If you go the only person to really pull off Heartsteel in jungle was a Korean player who's going Titanic into Heartsteel every game. And you can see, like, it's probably still him that is this. The build kind of just slows down. Like, you get Titanic, and unless you start snowballing really hard, it slows down really hard. I would say it's definitely worse than Black Cleaver for sure. Some people do go Bloodthirster first. I think it's absolute dog water. But people are sold on it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's that good. It's likely the worst build. Sterix, I don't think people are going Sterix first. This was just part of the images that we had. As you can see, 2 people ever, so it's the worst. Throw that away. Trinity Force is definitely a weird one. I feel like it's very slept on. I think Trinity Force is very slept on, and I feel like some people make it like really good. I think it is definitely better than Eclipse Under Sky, just because, again, it's not doing anything absurd. Is it better than Kraken? Probably not. It feels like the biggest toss-up is these 4. These 4 feel like really opinionated section here. These 3 are undeniable for me. It's like, I'll die on this hill. It's no big deal. But yeah, where's Trinity at? I don't think Trinity's build changed that much, where people should be going Trinity BC into Titanic. That build, that was really good. That was also one that we covered. Yeah. Oh yeah, this one too was a specific one. People were going Trinity Force Titanic into Hexblade, which is wild work. And that was unbuffed Hexblade, so they were doing it for the love of the game. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I think it's good. I think it's better than Eclipse, just because I think Eclipse is weak. But I think this might make more sense. I don't think it's an A tier build, but I do think it's better than Eclipse, so that seems good. Stride Breaker builds are actually interesting. I can never tell if this item is bait or not. It doesn't always perform that well. But I think, again, I think people's builds suck with it. I myself am a big fan. If you're building Stride, I like Bork into Stride. I think that build is actually pretty decent. And that's like the only time that you're going to find like a high-ish win rate with Stride Breaker. So if you're going Bork Stride, I think Bork Stride could be like up here, maybe here. But I think if they're going Stride for it first, I think it's like way worse than this. I think the Opportunity is actually better than this. Yeah, that looks better. AP Briar. AP Briar would likely be the worst of the playable builds, so there it is. And then Shojin first. Everyone wants to know my opinion on Shojin, like perma. The reality of it is that it just is a bad version of Black Cleaver. Shojin first is absolute terrible, but people go at second and third and actually get some like decent games on it with something like this. You'll see like it probably has something decent going on. Yeah, the idea is that like the amount that it buffs your spells just isn't enough to do more than what any other Bruiser item slot would do. Titanic into Black Cleaver, into, you know, Sterix or Sundered Sky, Overlord's Bloodmail, Boots, GA, just all of those slots do so much, and Shojin just is a bad version of them. So I don't think it's bad, and it has really good stats for Briar. Like, if stats were everything, this item would be crazy. Unfortunately, it's just not. So where does it go? I would say, like, it might be better. Like, if we're saying that we could go at second, like Titanic into Shojin, it's just getting carried by Titanic. Again, I don't think Shojin itself has much showing for itself. First, yeah, there's nothing there. So, I don't know, it's probably like right here. I'm going to look at my chat real quick, see if there's any other items you guys think that should be allowed in. Someone asked, what runes do you go with Yuntal? I think every Yuntal build should be going Lethal Tempo. Its passive just stacks it really well. Merc, Unending, Ravenous. Yeah, no, not really. This is like for like first and second items, like the full build tier list, you know. I don't think too much. And that was ranking every single Briar item. That might be fun. We could pull in a Hexblade real quick. Hexblade's been gaining in popularity. The main thing about it is that, again, it's just not really an item that should go first, right? But if you look at it going second, it's doing way better. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's tough to know what to go with it, because by the time that you get the item, the game is likely decided, in which, like, this doesn't do such crazy things for Briar herself. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're going at second and you're going like the Bork Hexplate build, that build can be decent, but I think it's getting carried by Bork, to be honest, so I don't know. Not really the biggest fan of it. It's definitely better than these. Might be here. Probably better than Stride. Someone just shouted Yumu's. Yumu's is interesting as hell, I'm not going to lie. It always is like kind of cranking in stats. But again, it's just like, if your playstyle is you buy Yumu's but you're not an active player, then it becomes here. But if you're a really aggressive player and you play Yumu's, then it can get to like here-ish. So it's really playstyle based. That's what makes it like so tough to rank. I would probably put it like right here. It's probably better than Opportunity, worse than Eclipse Under the Sky. So yeah, it's probably right around here. So this has been my build tier list. Again, this is not me saying these items are the best. We could do like a separate item tier list some other time, but you know, through the context of the video, you can understand what build we're talking about. The implication for runes here are PTA, PTA, Hailblades, Hailblades, Hailblades or PTA, Hailblades or PTA, Lethal Tempo, PTA or Lethal Tempo, PTA, PTA, You could go Hail Blades. Probably Conqueror. PTA, Conqueror. Any Precision Rune. PTA specifically. And then you already lost. So yeah. There you go. What a W video. But yeah, hopefully this makes it more clear for you guys. And again, for anyone that doesn't understand, like, hey, when I try out these builds, at the end of the video, I almost always say, like, where I think this build falls. So if you were to go here, I'd be like, wow, this is really fun. I think this might, like, fit, like, top 5, which would mean that it falls, like, here, you know? Like, this is, when I say something falls top 5, that's what it's competing with. If I say it's, like, top 10, then it's here, right? It's competing with, you know, Eclipse Under Sky. But yeah. So, Titanic is the GOAT, always has been. You know, if people feel the need to have me back myself up on that, I happily will. Especially when I made, where's that? Let's see if I can find it real quick, save you guys the time. I can't find it. I'm a fraud. Where is it, man? No way it was a year ago. 12 days. Dude, I have too many Briar videos. Do I go to a different champion? Yeah, right here. Best build to carry low elo, and then we have the best build to climb. Highest win rate build for Challenger Briar players. I make it very obvious what I think. Some people try and paint this narrative that I'm not direct about what I think, and I'm happy to take a stance on any of these things. This is quite literally my stance. So, you guys have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.